And, then she made life adventurous, so.
I did not try. Hi, I'm Hailey. I was diagnosed February 11th with B-cell acute lymphoblastic leukemia.
Hi, I'm Heather Dougherty. So last February 10th, I got the call that no parent ever wants to hear, that when they checked Hailey's blood, that they thought they found some cancer cells, that an oncologist was waiting for us in the ER at the Hershey Medical Center. So to the ER we went, and they diagnosed her on February 11th. So she's been quite an adventure since then. 2 weekends before she was diagnosed, I was coach on deck, and after warm up, she's like, "Mom, I've got to sit down." I'm like, "We have 5 minutes till we go off the blocks. You're fine. Suck it up. You can stand up for 5 minutes."
It's like, no,
we didn't do that much in warm up.
I need to sit down.
And she's like, "No, I need to sit down." I'm like, "Fine, then just go sit down." And I know I snapped at her because she was fine. At 5 minutes, she should have been able to stand up.
Yeah.
But when we got her blood counts, you realize she shouldn't have been standing up.
Well, so just that week, my mom comes home from swim practice and she's like, "Everyone's asking about you," because nobody I was always a kid that was there for everybody else. So it's just like the second I wasn't there, everyone's like, "What's happening to her? Where is she? What's wrong?"
So we of course were admitted immediately, and then on 6 days out of the hospital, she decided to have a seizure. So we were back in the hospital again. Hailey has had reactions to her PEG asparaginase, both anaphylactic reaction and the blood clot. So she's made our life quite adventurous in this last year. 4 Diamonds has been absolutely amazing, and THON has been incredible. We were fortunate enough, while we were first diagnosed, to have some THON students come to the med center. It was probably the last time THON students were actually in the med center. So she got to do Valentine's Day with some THON students. She got to meet the Hershey Bears while she was there. And then we ended up with the seizures, and COVID hit right before we left. So her adventure's been different than many other children with ALL. So our visitation policy has been different. She's only been allowed to have one of us with her most of the time. So the med center is absolutely amazing. Thanks to everything that the students do for THON and all the money raised at THON, we get so many added benefits at the med center. All the music therapists, the art therapists, of course, you can't miss Becky, the dog, who always brings smiles. The first smile Hailey had in PICU was when Becky came to visit her. So it was the first time she'd really had a nice smile again since that seizure happened. So we are currently in maintenance. Hailey is, at this point, in remission. So we are where we need to be. Her counts are doing great. She's looking amazing, feeling good. We just are so lucky to be part of this family and to embrace everything that all the students have had. And now I'm still getting we haven't heard anything for a while. I'm like, that's because she only goes once a month. It's all good. So every once in a while, I got to make sure that I push a good thing. She actually went to a restaurant on Saturday.
Yes. So, I left the house
not
for something not related to my sickness.
We have to do a shout out to Club Softball because they've been amazing as our THON partners. So they make sure they check in on us and see how Hailey's doing. I've been lucky that some of the other the other committees have reached out. I had one of the committee heads bring dinner to my house while he was home from school one day. So it's just crazy how THON has worked, and THON students have worked with us even through this COVID time. These Zoom phone calls are some of the things that make this a little bit more bearable. It's some of the most interaction Hailey gets with people besides her family, because she is on lockdown pretty hard right now. So she doesn't really get out of the house much, but we're so thankful for everything that all the Penn State students do. Well, club softball has reached out through text with Hailey and I. They're in a group chat with us for just to communicate and talk. The first interaction we actually had with club softball was, well, first was the package they sent for Christmas. They actually sent Sarah a birthday present because it was her birthday in November. So they sent Sarah a birthday present, and then they sent a gift, which was incredible. The best is they had opened up Sarah's Starbursts because they thought they were individually wrapped and they weren't. So then they had to reseal it and put a little note on it. But it was a great first interaction because they were trying so hard to make this package special. And you could tell they really thought about the kids and made sure to get things that the kids would love. Were they the ones that sent
Sarah a soccer shirt?
Yeah, they even got Sarah a Penn State soccer shirt because of the Zoom call with the soccer team that Sarah loved. So they got her a soccer shirt, which was great, which of course she loves. So, and then our first real interaction with them was through a Zoom call, and we played Imposters.
Among Us.
Among Us, sorry, Imposters. So one of the key things Hailey had mentioned to me about the Teen Network is that it allows her that different interaction with people, since she is not going to school because she is virtual.
People don't ask me if I'm okay every 5 seconds.
Which is huge. So, because what do her friends ask all the time is, how are you? And everybody asks. But in Teen Network, everybody knows what's going on with them. So they treat them just like a regular person, not like she's sick right now. So nice. It's a huge advantage. And I definitely made her feel welcome and a part of something this year when she is so isolated and away from everybody else. Yeah. And the Teen Network has been huge because after her seizures, one of her deficits was definitely getting out the verbal side of everything. So the thoughts are all there, but getting it out verbally was really tough. So reaching out to her friends was hard. So these Zooms have meant so much because it allows her to talk at her own pace and her own speed, and she's not as worried about how she acts compared to with her friends. I have to say the best piece of advice I was actually given from a former Four Diamonds family was to accept the help. Accept the help at all times. Anytime somebody's asking, let them help you because they're offering, they really do want to help. So you want to just do so much on your own, but I'm so thankful we accepted the help we did because we let a meal train happen, and it ended up being the best thing in the world because when she had her seizure, then the meals were already set up and they were already coming. So I could focus and my husband could focus on Hailey and being at the hospital with Hailey. And we knew that our kids at home were being fed and taken care of because everybody else jumped in and helped. So just to accept the help that's being offered.
For me, don't try to fit in because you will fit in no matter what. Because everyone comes from a different place, everyone's had different experiences, but they are all linked because something that doesn't happen to every family has happened to them. So it's like, just be you and you'll fit in better than if you're trying to fit in.
Well, she had her neuro check. And one of the things they said is she's firing up there so fast. It's the writing and getting it out on paper that's her struggle.
They said talk it, if I hear something or say something, I remember it better than if I read it, which is weird. But the verbal, as they called it, is really high, and then my motor's low, but they equal each other out because of how high the one is.
Interesting. They'll reevaluate her a year after she's done with chemo to find out if some of that chemo fog is part of it or not, versus how much is damage from the seizures and just the chemo in general. I mean, all the side effects are pretty significant. So yeah, every little bit helps and makes a difference in this fight because, I mean, she is fighting for her life. We've unfortunately known some who have lost their battle this year right next to her. So it's just knowing that every little support, every little help is there. So it's been so much. We can't thank enough for everything that we've been given, and even the follow up that's going to follow her forever. I mean, the fact that I don't have to worry about any kind of co-pays or any kind of medical bills at all is huge. I can focus on her and her recovery. I don't have to worry about where I'm going to pay for this, how I'm going to pay for that. It's been huge knowing that when she's ready to think about having children, that Four Diamonds will take care of a visit for her to go find out if she can have children or not, and get help with that. It really shows how important everything is. Everything everybody does, every penny raised helps.